You know, I love living here in Nigeria. Every day there is something new that I experience. And like I said, I've been living in Nigeria for the last year. And one of the things that I've learned to watch is the Nollywood movies. Now, in the States, I really don't watch that much TV because you know what? I was busy working, or I was in church, or I was doing a lot of different activities. I was like busy all the time. So it was usually a treat for me to sit down and watch a movie. And if I did, it would usually be on a Saturday or a Sunday. But since I moved to Nigeria and I'm retired and I'm living what you call my best life, is I watch some of these Nollywood movies. Now I can't watch all of them because some of them to me are very demonic. They have a lot of different spirits that goes on, like the four doors or seven doors or something. I can't watch stuff like that. But some of these Nollywood movies, I watched one that was on, I believe it was YouTube, and of course I don't know none of the actors or actresses, so I can't say their names. So it's about this married couple that had two children, a daughter and a son, and that they were happily married and everything, and the woman wanted to get someone to help her cook and clean like 3 times a week. And so her friend recommended this housekeeper, and this housekeeper came over and she hired her for like 3 days a week. And so when she met the husband, the husband and the housekeeper 20 years earlier were like in a relationship when they were like in college or something like that. But they broke up because, I don't know, the girl broke up with him. But anyway, so all these old feelings came back with this guy, with this girl. And to make a long story short, he was feeling her, she was feeling him, and they ended up sleeping together. Okay? So after they slept together, he felt, some kind of way, like bad, because now he wants to be a devoting husband and father after sleeping with her, and say he don't want to be with her no more. But the girl is like, hey, wait a minute, I'm pregnant now. And so the man is like, hey, I don't want the baby, you do what you do, I'm going to do me and have my wife. Now mind you, the husband and the wife stopped her from being their housekeeper and got her a little shop, and so she could take care of her kids that was being taken care of by one of her relatives. And so they set her up pretty nicely, and then she ended up being intimate with with the husband. So to make a long story short, this is the part that I don't think I've ever seen this in a movie in the United States, but it's possible that it's happened, but I just haven't seen it. The woman that gets pregnant, she shows up at the door of the husband and wife with her suitcase and says she's moving in, and that she is now the new woman and he's going to take care of her and the baby. And so the wife is like, no, you ain't, no, you ain't. And the husband's like, well, no, you can't do this. And so while the husband and wife is arguing, the girl sits down and she starts drinking the wine that was left on the table. I'm like, now, wait a minute. This would be a whole different story if this was a black American. A whole different story. But anyway, what happened was they had the girl staying in one of the spare rooms, and the husband and wife is in another room, and the kids is in another room. And the woman wakes up in the middle of the night talking about she cold, she need to have him in the bed with her. So she walks in on the marital bed and demands that he comes in the other room and stay with her. And so they're arguing and fussing early in the morning. Kids is waking up and everything, and they put her out the room, and as she's screaming and hollering, she falls down the stairs. She ends up going to the hospital, and she ends up passing away, and the baby is barely alive. And at the end, I believe that the married couple just took the baby. Now, I don't understand this, Why would they allow another woman to come up in their house and cause that much havoc? And I'm not stopping the blame not on the husband, because he opened up the can of worms by going, sleeping with the woman. He should have been honest with his wife and said, look, we used to be, teen sweethearts. I had a little thing for her where I was in love with her. We broke up. I ain't seen her in 20 some years and I'm feeling some kind of way. And give the woman, his wife, heads up. But no, and I see this in a common theme in a lot of these Nollywood movies. And if I don't see that, I always see where the man is being very demanding, and he slaps the woman like she ain't got no sense. And then he says, are you okay? Are you mad? Heck yeah, I'm mad. You just slapped the heck out of me. Not only in front of family or my friends, but you slapped me like you think that's okay. And I see that's a common theme also in these Nollywood movies. So I don't watch the Nollywood movies that much, because I'm thinking, why would I would want to see a man slap a woman and think that is okay? And she's bound down to him and scared to walk around him like on eggshells. Or he sleeps around and gets the woman pregnant and he ends up taking care of, like, takes her as another wife. To me, that's confusion and crazy, and it's definitely not godly. So I just want to give you my spin on some of the stuff that I'm experienced with living in Nigeria. I don't even know if that is real life. Like, maybe they're taking it off of real life problems they do have in Nigeria. If that's the truth, let me know. Give me heads up. Let me know what's really going on, because I ain't part of none of that. Being a wife already of a Nigerian man, that ain't gonna happen. But let me know, Nigerians. Let me know if that is really true. If that's something that really happens in real life.